Hi guys, Kathy here. I'm the Connection Junkie and I'm back for another video to talk to you about tarot. So I thought this would be a fun way to kind of learn about tarot with 2020 coming, with this kind of, feels like this, not necessarily like awareness of intuition, but more kind of a growing spirituality, a growing acceptance of spirituality, a popularism of spirituality, perhaps, along with just my love of tarot. I wanted to come on and talk to you guys about what I want to talk to you about in the coming videos. So I'm going to do a series of videos that center around the life, death, and rebirth cycle of the major arcanas of the tarot. So if you're not familiar with the way that traditional tarot is set up, is that much like playing cards, you've got suits like your court cards, king, queen, knight, and page is the way that the traditional structure is, along with cards 1 through 10, the 1 being the ace. And then that's the minor arcana. The major arcana is a grouping of 22 cards. It's 0 through 21. And the 0 card is the Fool card. The Fool represents our soul. The Fool represents us. Yep. And the major arcana can be split into 3 lines of 7. So I'll show you guys a picture of the traditional tarot split in the 3 lines of like life, death, and rebirth, so that you guys can actually see this. It'll be towards the end of the video. But in this video series that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go through each line and kind of explain like what the lifeline is and kind of use it to illustrate the journey that a lot of us travel on. And the inspiration for this was because 2020, when you add 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0, it comes out to 4. And so, as I said, like 1 through 7 is the lifeline. The number 4 card in the tarot is the Emperor. So it's this little guy. This is from the Happy Tarot. But as you can see, this is an emperor, this is a king, this is someone that's really established. And so the numerology of 4 is very grounding. It's responsible, it plans, it's intentional, it's very foundational. And I thought, what better way or what better time to kind of talk about some of the really big cycles that a lot of us, if you're someone that considers yourself a little bit more intuitive, if you are woke, as the kids say, if you are more into spirituality, if you're really just like emotionally aware, if you're aware of the stuff that you've been going through, then you can probably relate to the fact that there's been a lot of stuff that's been happening, not just this year, not just last year, not just 2017, like for quite a while. Things have been kind of like ramping up, and that's not coincidental. Like we're moving into a new decade, and there's things that we just can't take with us. The analogy that really comes to mind to me is when you go to the airport and your bag exceeds the weight limit and they're like, you're gonna have to take some stuff out. Or when you go through the TSA and you have something that like it's, you know, like a water bottle or like something that you're just not allowed to take on the plane, and they're like, you just can't take it. Like they don't say sorry, they're just like, that's the rule, you can't take it, you have to leave it. And in my opinion, in my experience, I feel like that's very much what's happening for a lot of us in the collective, is that there are habits, there's beliefs, there's just different things that we can't take with us in 2020, because to be the Emperor, to be in our power, to be comfortable with our independence, to be able to use the power that has been granted to us in a really healthy, discerning way, there's a lot of shit we can't take with us. The drama, the bad habits, the low self-esteem, negative mindset. Yeah, there's a lot of things that have to fall away to get to this this level. So in the coming videos, I will do a video on the lifeline. We'll go through each of the cards. We'll go through the death line in the next video, and then the final line is going to be the rebirth line. And once we travel through the life, death, rebirth cycle, we start all over again, you know? So that's why it's like such good timing, because we're in the lifeline as we come into 2020. Last year was a hangman year, this year, 2019, is a hangman year. The numerology for this year is 12. The number 12 card is hangman. And that card is in the death line. And, oh, look at this. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you hungry? Somebody's hungry. So the hangman card is in the death line. So there's a lot of things that have been falling away. If you're familiar with the imagery of the hangman, which you'll see in that life, death, rebirth, in the layout of the cards at the end of the video. It's a person that's hanging upside down. And the energy is almost, to me, like if you've ever seen like those old movies or cartoons where the kids getting bullied for their lunch money, when kids used to take money to school. I don't think they do anymore. I don't know. I don't have kids. But, you know, someone's picking this person up by their ankles and kind of shaking them, and all the change falls out. It's almost like that's what life, God, universe, source, whatever you believe is your higher power, has kind of done, where it's like, okay, we're gonna have to flip you over, because there's things you have to let go of that cannot go with you where you're going. You can't take that baggage on the plane. You just can't. So onto the cards. So as you can see, these are all of the major arcana cards. So starting with 0, we have our Fool card. And then as we go down the line, these are cards 1 through 7, which is the lifeline. So we've got the Magician, High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, Hierophant, Lovers, and the Chariot. I apologize, the tops of the cards got cut off. They're a little bit out of view, but in the lifeline video, you'll be able to see these really clearly. This next line is the death line. And we've got Strength, the Hermit, Wheel of Fortune, Justice, the Hanged Man, Death, and then Temperance. And then in the final line is the rebirth line. We've got the Devil, the Tower, the Star, the Moon, the Sun, Judgment, and finally the World card. And as I mentioned, like all of us travel this life, death, rebirth cycle. The Fool card is numbered 0, because really the major arcana is the story of the Fool's journey, that the Fool travels the lifeline of figuring out, who am I not. Once we figure out who we are not, we go through the death line, which is really like the shedding of the things that don't belong to us anymore, the shedding of identities, the shedding of phases of our life, until we really learn kind of this patience, understanding, temperance. And then we come into a cycle of rebirth where we're able to identify, okay, these are the things that I want to let go of, I have to let go of to get to my higher purpose, to understand both the dark and the light sides of me, to really understand what needs to be released and what needs to carry on with me as I complete this journey of rebirth. And then we start all over again. Yeah, so I just wanted to show that to you guys. As I said, there's going to be a series of videos where we will cover the lifeline, the death line, and the rebirth line. So if you enjoyed learning about this, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video. All right, thank you so much. Bye.